Samsung launched three new smartphones ahead of MWC: the Galaxy S10e, the Galaxy S10, and this one, the Galaxy S10 Plus. With these phones, it does feature the new Infinity O display, which does manage to go bezel-less to quite an extent. Now, this particular smartphone is powered by the Exynos 9820, has a triple camera setup at the back and two selfie cameras. And in a way, the S10 Plus is the best smartphone that Samsung has to offer for 2019 as of now. But is this good enough to keep the competition at bay? Well, we review it to find out. Pick the Galaxy S10 Plus and it is evident that the bezels are super thin on the top and the sides, helping it look like a bezel-less phone. The bottom bezel is comparatively thicker. At the top of the display, the earpiece grill is moved towards the frame, which liberates some screen space. The use of premium materials is evident when the shiny aluminum frame bounces light off it. Samsung has rounded the frame, which makes the phone easy to hold and at the same time helps the display and the glass back merge into it seamlessly. At the back, it has a triple camera setup arranged in a horizontal manner, which is similar to the setup on the Galaxy Note 9. It also has the heart rate and oxygen saturation sensors and is placed in the same module alongside the LED flash. There is no denying that the 6.4-inch AMOLED display on the Galaxy S10 Plus is absolutely gorgeous to look at. It has Quad HD Plus resolution but is set to Full HD Plus by default. The Galaxy S10 Plus definitely has one of the brightest display panels in the market at 1200 nits in brightness. While using the smartphone, we could view it easily when outdoors. The phone offers night mode as well, which switches to a dark theme when set manually or automatically after sunset or at a specified time. The hole punch is to the right and houses a dual camera setup. Since the display has a cutout for a dual camera setup, it is easily noticeable here compared to the Galaxy S10, which has a smaller hole punch for its single selfie camera. Though it isn't necessarily distracting, it is big enough to be easily noticeable. You can hide this by enabling a hide front camera option in the display settings. This puts a thick, ugly black band at the top to hide the hole punch, so it looks like the phone has a very thick top bezel. This panel is HDR10 Plus certified, which is the first of its kind on mobile phones. It also has Corning Gorilla Glass 6 protection, which should help it resist scratches from day-to-day use. Samsung's in-display ultrasonic sensor can be reached easily when holding the phone. It does not need the AMOLED display to light up and works even when the display is completely off. Samsung still lights up the portion where the sensor is placed to help you with the location of the scanner. We were impressed with the speed of the scanner as it could scan and verify the fingerprint even with a light tap, where most other in-display scanners would be unable to do so. The iris scanner, which was available on older Samsung flagships like the Galaxy S8 and the S9, has been dumped, and the S10 Plus relies on the selfie camera for face recognition. The Galaxy S10 Plus also has a stereo speaker setup where the earpiece doubles up as a speaker when playing audio. There is support for Dolby Atmos as well, which makes a noticeable difference when enabled. Samsung has picked the new Exynos 9820 SoC to power the Galaxy S10 Plus here in India. The variant we are testing has 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Higher variants of the Galaxy S10 Plus are available that offer 8GB of RAM with 512GB of storage and 12GB of RAM with a whopping 1TB of storage space. The Galaxy S10 Plus has a hybrid SIM tray slot which allows storage expansion. If you aren't interested in expanding storage, you can use two nano SIM cards. There is support for 4G as well as VoLTE on both slots. Samsung ships the Galaxy S10 Plus with its new One UI on top of Android 9 Pie. We had already taken a look at One UI when Samsung launched it on the Galaxy Note 9. The software is polished and is designed to facilitate one-handed use. Overall, we prefer this over the Samsung Experience UI, which shipped with older smartphones. The UI is not exactly stock and comes with a couple of apps pre-installed, which include Samsung apps like Galaxy Store, My Galaxy, Samsung Pass, and Galaxy Wearable. We found My Galaxy to be a little annoying as it kept sending push notifications. Game Launcher is available, which clubs all the games installed on the smartphone together. It lets you choose performance settings between focus on power saving, balanced, and focus on performance for all games, or set these settings for each game individually. Samsung has managed to pack in a 4100 mAh battery in a slim 7.8 mm body, while managing to keep the weight down to 175 grams. It feels light in the hand compared to some of the other Galaxy smartphones we have used in the past. Wireless charging is available, and the device is also capable of reverse wireless charging. We noticed that the Galaxy S10 Plus disables this feature automatically when the battery drops under 30%. Powered by the Exynos 9820, the most powerful chip that Samsung has on offer, and paired with 8GB of RAM, there's absolutely nothing that slows the Galaxy S10 Plus down. With 8GB of RAM on board, we could easily multitask on the smartphone without having apps killed in the background. It also keeps games running in the background, simply because it can, without compromising on performance. PUBG Mobile defaulted to the high settings, which sets the graphics to HD and frame rate to high. The game also ran with a black bar at the top, hiding the camera hole punch. We played a few matches at Full HD Plus resolution with these settings, and the phone could handle it without heating up. The battery drain was 11% after 40 minutes of gaming. We couldn't find Asphalt 9 on the Google Play Store. Instead, it was offered on Samsung's own Galaxy Store. It ran at high quality settings with Full HD Plus resolution and also in full screen mode that gave us an immersive experience. The hole punch does cause you to lose out on a small portion of the display, but it didn't bother us, nor did it affect gameplay in any manner. The graphics were smooth and the phone could easily handle it without heating. Samsung has bumped the battery capacity up, and the Galaxy S10 Plus gets a 4100 mAh battery. We ran our HD video loop test on the smartphone while set at Full HD Plus resolution, and it managed to run for 16 hours and 25 minutes. While it ran longer than the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, it could not manage to run as long as the Galaxy Note 9 despite of having a slightly bigger battery. With our heavy usage, the phone was left with 25% battery at the end of 24 hours. The battery life is very good at the default settings, but you can extend it by lowering the display down to HD Plus and using a different power saving mode in the settings app. Charging is quick, as the supplied 15-watt fast charger is capable of topping this up quickly. The phone charged to 41% in 30 minutes, up to 79% in an hour, and took close to 1 hour 30 minutes to charge up completely. Samsung has opted for a triple camera setup on the S10 Plus, consisting of a 12 megapixel telephoto lens with OIS and PDAF, a 12 megapixel wide angle sensor with dual pixel autofocus and a variable aperture, and a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera with a 123 degree field of view. The telephoto lens gives you 2x optical zoom, while the ultra wide angle sensor helps click a wide shot. The camera app is well laid out and has plenty of modes to choose from. The first thing you'll notice is a floating toggle towards the bottom of the screen that lets you switch between the three cameras at the back. You get modes for 960 FPS, super slow-mo, slow motion, hyperlapse video, live focus, panoramas, AR emoji, Bixby Vision, and Pro mode. When clicking in the regular photo mode, it has quick toggles for beautification as well as scene optimizer. The AR emoji mode lets you use AR stickers which can mimic your facial movements. There is a food mode as well, which you can use while clicking food. It adds a radial blur and lets you change the color temperature. Photos clicked from the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus were impressive and had a lot of detail. The scene optimizer is enabled by default and helps the camera set the scene up accordingly. When clicking photos during the day, the Galaxy S10 Plus metered light correctly and enabled HDR when the scene required it. Even objects at a distance had good details. Photos clicked with a telephoto sensor too had good detail, but very fine grain was visible. The ultra-wide angle has a fixed focus and should ideally be used when clicking landscape shots. However, we also noticed barrel distortion at the edges. When clicking macros, the phone is quick to focus and the photos turned out really well. It could detect the subject while shooting and manage a good separation between the subject and the background. These macro shots also had well-defined edges. Photos clicked at night were bright and had a good amount of detail. Even objects at a distance were recognizable, and text written on buildings were legible. There is very low noise in photos clicked with a light source nearby. In darker environments, the output had visible grain. The live focus mode can be used to click portraits and lets you adjust the level of blur. When clicking people, it managed excellent edge detection. Once the image is shot, you can also change the level of blur or the blur effect you had applied while clicking the photo. Samsung offers a dual selfie camera setup on the Galaxy S10 Plus consisting of a 10 megapixel selfie camera and an 8 megapixel depth sensor. While clicking selfies, beautification is enabled by default, but thankfully it isn't too aggressive. You can change the level of beautification and also switch it off completely. Selfies clicked from this phone were sharp and had good detail. When clicking in live focus mode, it puts the depth sensor to use and the output had a good edge detection. Video recording maxes out at 4K 60fps for the primary camera and 4K for the selfie camera. Image stabilization is available in most modes except at 4K 60fps. Stabilization is excellent and the phone managed to handle shakes really well. There is a super steady mode as well that managed to stabilize footage even when we were running. In this mode, the Galaxy S10 Plus uses the wide angle sensor and crops in to stabilize the footage. The Galaxy S10 Plus is a brilliant smartphone with a powerful processor and a stunning display. The new hole punch design from Samsung allows for a much bigger display in a small body. Samsung has also managed to price the Galaxy S10 series well with respect to the competition, giving these phones an edge over the others. For a slight premium over the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, you get a more powerful processor and a better display. The Galaxy S10 Plus also has a few nifty features when it comes to the camera, especially the super steady video recording and the HDR10 Plus video recording. If you are in the market looking for a smartphone that stands tall among the others, the Galaxy S10 Plus is a very good pick. It looks futuristic, has the software to back the powerful hardware up, and also offers good versatile cameras. And that was our review of the Galaxy S10 Plus. What do you guys think about this device? Let us know in the comment section below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to Gadgets360.com.